Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and welcome to another episode of PlastiCombat. This is the series where I take a look at two figures that are either of the same character, archetype, etc., and help you decide whether you should get one or both. And tonight we have the Target exclusive Marvel Legends Red Hulk versus the recently released Diamond Select Marvel Select Red Hulk. So let's get them on the floor and see how they shake out. Fight!
Round one. Fight!
Round one is aesthetics, and as you can see, sculpts are pretty similar. However, there are definitely some very obvious differences as well. But I think this is a very interesting comparison in that regard. And so here we go. And I'm going to do as much of this as I can with them just standing here, because obviously they're large and unwieldy, especially the Diamond Select. So looking at these right off the bat, you can see that Diamond Select is definitely taller. Diamond Select definitely tends to run more 1/10. Maybe even a little bit above that. So definitely the larger figure. So if you like large and imposing Hulks, that's the way to go. They're both large, but this definitely it makes a statement. And beyond that, going into the other obvious stuff, especially with the lighting here, you can see that you have a nice even matte finish on the Diamond Select, where it's more shiny, more kind of plasticine look to the Marvel Legends. And depending on where it is with the paint and touch-ups and stuff like that, might kind of be a little less even. So if that is a thing for you, definitely worth noting. And the lower the kind of hips area, the lower legs to the upper legs, there's definitely a difference in the glossiness there as well. So if that's the sort of thing that bothers you, obviously something you're going to want to avoid. But things that are similar, definitely, again, the builds are somewhat similar. As you can see right here, the articulation cuts are actually almost the same, like exact same angle. And that I thought was very interesting. Not only that, but the legs have a very similar look. However, much smaller feet on the Legends, much larger feet on the Diamond Select. And I guess while we're here, looking at the nails, from a distance, they kind of look the same, but it's definitely more of a kind of deep red here on the Legends. You can see, so it's a few tones off, where it is just straight up black, the same tone as the pants for the Marvel Select. So you have that as well. Then, let's see, going into other stuff here, definitely more vascular sculpt for the Marvel Legends, where it's a little, again, overall a little bit smoother for our Diamond Select. And then finally, the biggest thing I think is definitely the head sculpt, where we definitely get kind of a more kind of sharp, kind of tightened up sculpt for our Marvel Legends. And then I love this face sculpt so much. This is part of, I love the red variant of Hulk, period, but I definitely just adore this head sculpt. It's beefy, it looks menacing. It has its own personality. I totally dig that. So yeah, very different there. And we're getting to the next section. There are no head swaps here. So I guess spoilers for round two, but yeah, overall, very different head sculpt. So again, that presentation might factor into what you like. Personally, I kind of like a lot of the stuff going on with the Diamond Select, and especially because the head on the Marvel Legends seems a little small. So I'm going to give this round to Marvel Select.
Round two. Fight!
Round two is accessories, and as you can see, we actually get the exact same thing with both figures, which is phenomenal in terms of just kind of looking at and comparing. So this was really a non-factor. This straight up is a draw, because we just get two pairs of, one pair, pardon me, of the grasping hands, and then one pair of fists for each of them, and again in their respective finishes. So yeah, the round two is a draw.
Final round. Fight!
Final round is Articulation, and right off the bat, you can see that they both have very good balance. I will point out, you can't really see it here, they are not resting on each other. These are actually both freestanding in their kicks, so that is excellent. Though I will point out that we do get more stability with the Marvel Select because of those wider feet, so you definitely have a better base. However, it's a much heavier figure, so that's going to factor in as well. So that is what it is. But now looking more at the differences, let's bring them a little bit more to neutral. And there's only really one key difference here because they're so similar. I mean, these are incredibly just similar figures. I don't know how else to say that. And there goes Marvel Select's head here, but there we go. So head joint is actually the same. Actually, you saw that, and so they are both on a barbell, and we get pretty much the same range with both of them. Actually, yeah, about the same. So even with the different sculpts, though, we do get a little bit more down with Marvel Legends. So that is worth noting. And the big major thing, the difference with these, I mean, I already pointed out we get these similar cuts in the elbows. They're both single cut. Going back to aesthetics, I guess this might factor in for you, but there's definitely a larger elbow cut here for the Legends as opposed to the Legends, the Select. So there is that as well. And I guess while we're coming around here, major difference is the butterfly joints. They are on the Marvel Legends, not the Select. So if that is important to you, then that is going to be a factor, because we definitely get some great range back with this Hulk. We've seen this buck many, many times. So, you know, you do get a lot of that. And for the Select, it's just, you're gonna be relying more on that rotation that you get with the torso. There should be rotation with the waist, but mine does not move, and I haven't been able to heat it up enough to get that to move. So that is worth noting, as well as actually that transitions perfectly into the joints are a lot tighter on the Marvel Select. They're not so much on the Marvel Legends. If you are familiar with both of these lines, then you know what I'm talking about. Legends just tend to be a little more fluid, and Select is definitely a bit tighter. You know, definitely not unwieldy in any way, but you have to be a little more careful. You have to, you know, kind of warm up a little bit, and shock oil will go a long way for that as well. So worth noting. But I gotta say, overall, I definitely have more fun posing the Marvel Legends. So for me, going over all this, and again, pretty much everything else, the articulation is the same. We're double jointed here, we're single jointed here. We do have our bicep swivels and you know, all that good stuff. So very, very similar in terms of range and you know, the just points of articulation. So I would just say, you know, balance is better here. However, just overall and fun factor in terms of actually articulating the figure, I gotta give the Marvel Legends. So yeah.
Finish him!
So final thoughts, decision. Honestly, these are two fantastic figures, and you know, I like them both equally for different reasons. I definitely prefer the aesthetics on the Marvel Select. However, you know, if I prefer the articulation here on the Marvel Legends. And honestly, if I had to pick one, if I just like had to downsize my collection, or I could only keep one for whatever reason, I think I would probably go with the Marvel Legends. And that is because I definitely have a slight preference to articulation, and you know, the fun factor in actually playing with the figure is definitely a large factor for me personally. So that definitely goes in there. And you know, but there's so much else that kind of comes in here, and you know, why I try to lay out as much as possible in these videos. So you know, so if articulation is more of a factor for you, then it's definitely gonna be Marvel Legends. But that's again only barely. And I will say with that obviously these are variants that were done because both companies have already done Green Hulks, and Jay Hernandez here on YouTube actually did a absolutely like incredible kind of side-by-side with the Green Hulk versions of these figures. And I will be linking to that in the description, so you can check that out and kind of see a more in-depth kind of posing session, see how they kind of match up there, because I cannot touch his ability to pose figures at current times. So you know, it's just, you know, that and his videos are just fun to watch. So absolutely check that out. And beyond that, again, if you know, you want kind of the more fluid joints, the more slightly better range, or not even better range, just the butterfly joints, then you're going to be looking for the Marvel Legends. If not, then you know, the Marvel Select is available pretty much everywhere online right now, and I'll have links in the description below for that. So readily available and totally like you get it right now. So though that being said, I will say that the Marvel Legends isn't too bad on eBay right now. I just checked it before I recorded this section, and it's going for about double like inbox, so that's not bad at all. And yeah, so definitely worth seeking out if that's what you want. So if you're a big fan of the Hulk, and the Red Hulk in particular, you can't go wrong with either of these figures, in my opinion. You know, just whichever one you want, go for it. And you know, if you want Marvel Legends, I wish you luck in finding it. And for Marvel Select, there'll be links down there so you can check it out. And yeah, with all that being said, I hope you found this informative and somewhat entertaining. That's why I do these videos. And if you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. And there's other ways to help the channel even more directly listed in the description as well. So please check that out. And all that being said, I just want to say ultra thanks to you one last time for watching, and I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.